any Republican in their right mind argue that the Biden administration is weaponizing the DOJ to hurt Republicans and to help Democrats. They just convicted the president's own son, to say nothing of the fact that the Department of Justice is currently trying a Democratic senator and has indicted a Democratic member of this House. I mean, do Republicans still believe that President Biden is weaponizing the justice system? Because if he is, he's sure doing a lousy job. And as usual, the only Trump derangement syndrome going on around here is on the other side of the aisle. I mean, people are saying that Biden orchestrated the conviction of his own son in order to justify the criminal charges against Trump. That is how you think when you are in a cult. So here's the bottom line. Republicans just can't wrap their heads around the idea that their presidential candidate, your presumptive nominee, is a convicted felon. That is not the result of a sham process or some vast conspiracy by the Biden administration. That is the result of the truth. And these attacks on our justice system have to come to a stop. They are dangerous, they are irresponsible, they are nothing but false conspiracy theories being pushed to try and excuse the actions of the former president, and they are made even more absurd by the outcome of the trial this morning.
America First is not supporting Donald Trump with blind fealty.
But Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure about that. But Mr. Speaker, you've been saying two-tier system of justice for some time. Here's the president's son being convicted on 3 counts. Doesn't that undercut your claims?
It doesn't. Every case is different, and clearly the evidence was overwhelming here. I don't think that's the case in the Trump trials, and all the charges that have been brought against him have been obviously brought for political purposes. Hunter Biden is a separate instance.
You know, I've sat here for, what, 2 hours, probably going to be 3 or 4, you know, and listen to these smoke screens that my friends on the other side of the aisle are saying. They bring up the trial of Donald Trump, convicted felon. Really? By a judge that is a known anti-Trumper? You bring out Mr. Nadler, I've got the floor. If you're going to interrupt, Mr. Chairman, call him down when he interrupts. It's my time, and I'll let you respond, but I'm tired of this. You talk over everybody. It's so rude of you.
I don't care how loud the MAGA movement gets. I don't care how much congressional members, either in the House or the Senate, Republicans get. I don't care how much they push this narrative that if you don't support Donald Trump, you're not patriotic or you're not putting America first.
We have a presumptive nominee for president facing 88 felony counts, and we're being prevented from even acknowledging it. These are not alternative facts. These are real facts. A candidate for president of the United States is on trial for sending a hush money payment to a porn star to avoid a sex scandal during his 2016 campaign, and then fraudulently disguising those payments in violation of the law. He's also charged with conspiring to overturn the election. He's also charged with stealing classified information, and a jury has already found him liable for rape in a civil court. And yet, in this Republican-controlled House, it's okay to talk about the trial, but you have to call it a sham.
We take down his words.
It's okay to say the jury is rigged.
Mr. Speaker, I demand that his words be taken down.
It's okay to say the court is corrupt.
Gentlemen will suspend.
But not Trump is corrupting the rule of law.
When you have to go to this length, where you have Norman sitting in the committee meeting, calling out Nadler for pointing out how the judicial system works, because he's talking about a judge that he supposedly said is anti-Trump, a known anti-Trump, convicted Donald Trump. It's just not factually accurate. The judge presided over the case, but the jury of his peers in his home state of New York convicted him. 34 felonies, found guilty unanimously. This is not a judge trial. The judge didn't do this. This wasn't a bench trial. And it's this playing with words. It's this notion that our system is stacked against Donald Trump simply because it's charging him and hold him accountable for the first time in his life is absolutely ridiculous. And it doesn't just do harm to the state of this election and what it means to run for president of the United States. It does harm to all of our institutions. And unless we're getting serious about our democracy, we just might lose it. People are so smooth and easily fooled and rolled over with this idea that Donald Trump is great and none of this has happened. It's the world against him. It's Democrats against him. But what they forget to tell you is everybody testifying against Donald Trump is in his network or was at one time an employee of Donald Trump. Every trial, there are no Democrats testifying against Donald Trump. These are known Trump associates, not like this so-called known anti-Trump judge. We're talking about for real known Trump associates testifying against him, saying he broke the law, saying he behaved in ways that was immoral or illegal. Go figure. There was no Democrats testifying or gonna testify against Trump about the top secret documents. These are people in his universe. These are people in his circle. Everyone, every witness. So this idea that you could tell your base that the world is trying to screw over Donald Trump because we're trying to hold him accountable, you can say it as many times as you want to. But the truth of the matter is, you will have egg on your face, and history will look at you. And I'm talking about all you Republicans, all of you, Speaker Johnson, who's willing to say that the system is a two-tiered system, all while not acknowledging that Donald Trump has not been prosecuted by this administration's Justice Department. However, the president, this administration leader, son, has been found guilty by this administration, or at least a judge who heard a trial with a jury that found him guilty. You've not seen that from Donald Trump because all of his cronies, all of the judges that he put in place, and other Republican judges are refusing to hear these trials, even though the American people deserve to know that the presidential candidate for the Republican Party is not just a person that's been convicted of felonies. He's also a person who's probably committed high treason and damn sure disqualified for being president of the United States. But we won't hear about that because all we're going to hear about is a two-tier system. And as a black man in the United States, I damn near throw up hearing white men talking about a billionaire is getting the short end of a two-tier justice system. It just doesn't ring true, like most of the stuff Republicans say. I'm Mondale Robinson. Jump out of that cult and get back into this country.